Look, walking in my purpose on purpose. It ain't nothing this world could offer that could amount to what God showed me my worth is. I'm working. Oh yeah, I'm in my bag. No working, going so hard for God. Shout out to the devil won't murk me, but he ain't got no power. These haters sour cause I made it. My voice ain't doing it's only by his grace I'm in his favor. Prayer, that's what I use to learn the stuff to take. The Holy Spirit fill me with courage on top of the faith. That's why. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. Yeah. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. Okay. So I'm walking in my purpose on.
So today with us on Stool Talk, we're honored to have a special elite student athlete. Here on Stool Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose. And today's guest is definitely jumping in his purpose. He's a great athlete, part of a great ranked team. He finished tops in his OVC conference. And the thing that I love about this athlete, which you'll hear about earlier, is his work ethic. While others is out chilling, not doing nothing, he's working extra, going above and beyond to be that great athlete that he wants to be. Today we have with us the one, the only, Mr. Korbin Brown. How you doing today?
So what's up? I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, trying to get used to this snow down here and stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to make a way out of it, get back to training.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, man, and just to hear how your work ethic from, I seen it, but then to even hear it. How did you first get into track and field, and what caused you to jump? Or did you run first, then do the jumping?
Okay, so for me, I've always been, on the hooping side. I played basketball first. I played basketball when I was younger, and really up to really like ninth grade, really like eighth, ninth grade, I kind of knew I wanted to try track, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So like you just said, I started off running. I did the 200 meter, I did the 100 meter, and then I did high jump. That was my 3 events when I first started, because I first started track when I was in ninth grade. That's when I really first started track. And yeah, I really just was like, let me go out there and see how it was. Really just let me get conditioned for basketball. Yeah. And when I went out there my first year, I'm not gonna lie, it felt better doing like a single sport. Like, you know what I'm saying? It felt better just, whatever I do is on me. So it's like, I started off with the 100, 200, and like I said, high jump. And really with the 100 to 200, I was okay runner. But my coach really wanted to very focus me on high jump. So that's when I kind of transitioned to the jumper my 10th grade year, and I just did jumps. But I started off running, and it was really just something where I knew I wanted to try track. It was really just for basketball, but I really started enjoying it and loving it, and enjoying and loving it more than basketball, because just like I said, it's a individual sport. Like basketball, at the end of the day, you got to depend on other people to win games in this. But with track, why I liked it so much was because it's like, what you do is you. So it's like you go out there, you run this, you go out here and jump this, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? You can make the changes. Yeah. So that's really why I kind of made the change. And I quit basketball early on. I quit basketball in like ninth grade. I quit basketball and I just started straight focusing on track. And that was the best decision I ever did in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I started seeing the coaches, when I started doing. But that's what it was for me.
Yeah, what do you just long jump or you high jump or both?
So I do out of high school, I only did long jump and I did high jump. I was state champion in high jump, but when I was recruited by Tennessee State University, when I came on my visit, the jumps coach, he told me, he was like, when you come here, we're going to try you on triple jump, actually. He was like, I'm going to try you on triple jump. So I was like, I'm open for that. I got here. He only really trained me on long triple jump, kind of got a little bit away from my high jump. And, yeah, I just really became just a long jump, triple jumper. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get back into is my high jump. But, yeah, I came in high school as just doing long and high jump.
Yeah. When did you start to see that you was different, that you was excelling? Like you said, even before the states, did you have aspirations to win the state before you did? Was that a goal? Or did you like, man, I'm just doing good. Like I possibly can, go to states.
So for me, when it really started, when I really first started, it was something where it was like, I'm just doing good. Like I'm keep going. But I had talked to I was talking to my coaches, my track and field coaches. My track and field coaches would actually tell me like, Korbin, you can get a scholarship from this. Like you can actually go here. Like you can go to a lot of schools by doing just this. So it really came to the point where I was kind of like, if that's what it is, I kind of started getting away from basketball. You know what I'm saying? I kind of started to stop focusing on that, and then I just completely dropped it. So at first it was like that, but when it really hit it was really like the beginning of my 10th grade year. I was like, I can do something in this. I can go to school for this. I can get free tuition from this. And that's kind of
Yeah.
how I went.
Yeah. What went into you making your college choice and your decision? And can you speak to the youth on give them help on how to make their college choices as well when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to picking the right school?
Okay, yeah. So me, when it came to my college decision, ever since I was kind of, knew about I wanted to go to college, I always saw the videos and stuff, HBCUs, just how they are as a family, how they're connected. And I've always wanted to go to HBCU. You know what I'm saying? I told my parents like I want to go to D1 HBCU. That was my only factor. I don't know if it's in this or that, but I want to go to a D1 HBCU. So it was like, I always knew that I wanted to go to a HBCU, but I was really just waiting on, when I jumped what I jumped, I got a lot of PWI offers, of course. But it really kind of seemed like most of the love was from HBCUs. Like most HBCUs, only the HBCUs was throwing me, full ride. So it was like my top three really was, Tennessee State University, and then it was Alabama A&M, Western Carolina. So it was like I knew I wanted to go to HBCUs, and it really came to me where the HBCUs were showing love to me. So it kind of was something where I was like, I feel like that's just God telling me this is exactly what you need to do. So it was like an HBCU decision that I made, that was just nothing. I knew I wanted to go to HBCU. I just needed to hear that everything was covered. You know what I'm saying? I just need to hear that everything was on the table, and that's what it was. So I've always knew I wanted to go to HBCU since I was younger, just because I seen the atmosphere. I seen how it was being around people who just look just like you. You know what I'm saying? Being around all that. So that's kind of what it was. I always knew that, I wanted to go to a HBCU. Always.
Yeah. And what would you tell the youth when it comes to them making a decision and picking a school?
So when it comes to that, to me, my decision was based off of really just how much they value you, if that makes sense. So a lot of schools I talked to, the coaches would text me, the coaches would say this and that, but I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel like they wanted me, if that makes sense. So in my opinion, I made my decision based off of the coach who really wanted me. So all these other schools I was talking to, it was really something to where it was like they could have me versus of they want me. So it's
Yeah.
like what I would say to them is, you just go with who really wants you, not who would have you. So it's a lot of coaches will sit here and say, yeah, you're a great athlete. I would love to have you on board. I would love to have you this and that. But it's like, do they really want you, or do they just, they want to have you? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's really just going where you feel your value. In this recruiting process in high school, I was new to it. I wasn't used to getting offers. I wasn't used to any of that. So it was like, for me, I kind of like really quickly got of who really wanted me there versus just who would have me. And you can know it by when you talk to coaches, how they interact with you, how much they text you, you know what I'm saying, how much they actually reach for you versus just a coach that just checks on you maybe one time a week. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's really just I would tell them go exactly where you're valued. It's not just about a big school. It's not just about this and that. Because I've had big schools, this and that, but I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel if I would go to this school, I would feel valued by the coach and the athletic director. Here, I feel exactly that way. My
Yeah.
coach, I feel valued by her. I feel valued by my athletic director.
Yeah, that leads me to my next question. What's your favorite aspect about being part of the TSU track team?
So my favorite aspect actually being a part of TSU is really just like a family aspect. So like when I say a family aspect, it's, a lot of people say at HBCUs that's how it is, but you really see it when you're an athlete. So it's like we do things just as like movie nights, game nights, like we really do team bond and things like that. And it's like it really feels better to me being an athlete because all these people look like me, and it's like at the end of the day, we all want the same goal. So it's like at the end of the day, I really feel like TSU has a family aspect. We all do everything together as a team. So it's like we go after meets, we go out to eat. After meets, we talk about what we could have did differently, and it's just always felt that way. I stay in the same hallway as all my track athletes, so it's like it's really a family type of thing. And I don't know if I would have really got that same family feeling at a PWI just because PWIs are normally bigger than HBCUs.
Yeah.
But I really feel like it's a family aspect. I can tell anybody on my team anything I'm dealing with, anything I'm going through, and they'll tell me, okay, this is what it is, this is what it's at, and we're very close. We're very close.
Yeah.
That's one thing you also see at HBCUs. Obviously, the sports teams are smaller than PWI, so it's like it forces you kind of be a family. So it's
Yeah.
that's just what we is. Like we hang out together, we talk about this. I can tell anybody on my team what it is, and that's really what keeps me going about the school. The atmosphere, like it's just I really like it because it's like this is something that I've always said I wanted since I was younger, and now I'm actually seeing it to come out. I'm seeing us bonding. I'm seeing us doing this together.
Yeah, and that's why we do these interviews, allow people to see your journey, the people that follow you, the people that looked up to you when you was winning the state, the people that look up to you now, even when you in college, competing at a high level, they see the journey. And it just showed me that your faith that you had when you was younger was still there, and God was like, you know what, I got you. You got faith for that, I'm gonna make that happen. So now when you talk about what God did, people see it. Now they can be able to have faith to go to the school that they want to, or have the dreams, or have the times, the PR times that they want. What's the most challenging part about competing as a jumper, and how do you overcome it?
So the most challenging part with me for real is really just your mental going into it. So when it comes to jumping, when it comes to sprinting and jumping, sprinters they see their competition, they go out there and kind of they just run. I'm not saying they don't do anything, but when it comes to jumpers, it's kind of more mental because you have 3 attempts in everything you do. So it's to the point to where it's kind of you're sitting here and you're evaluating what am I going to do this next jump. So for real, for me, the biggest thing that kind of shakes me when I go and jump is your mental. It's all about your mental. So certain times I was going into meets mad about my grade in this class. You know what I'm saying? Mad about just little things, mad about things that's going on in my household, but it's about your mental. You can't go in there. You can't go in jumping anywhere thinking about that because it's going to affect your mental. Jumping is a lot about mental because if you do your first jump and you don't jump what you jump, you can't. You're forced to get in your head. You know what I'm saying? You have 2 more attempts, but you're forcing your head. I know I couldn't jump this. I know it is. So for me, it's really just it's a mental thing. I go into all my meets with a calm mental. So when I say a calm mental, I go into my meets with a clear head. I go into my meets talking to people before that tell me things to give me a clear head. And when I jump, I'm straight jumping. I'm focusing on straight jumping. I'm thinking about anything else. So as a jumper, that's definitely hard versus a sprinter. It may be a little easier, but when it comes to jumpers, you have 3 attempts. And between those 3 attempts, it's a little long wait. Maybe 4 or 5 people ahead of you before you jump again. So it's like it's all about mental when it comes to long jump and triple jump, even in high jump. It's all about mental because at the end of the day, it's you versus you when you're on that pit. When you're in that pit, it's you versus you. So it's like you either let your mental get the best of you, think about this and that, and you go out here and do this, or you have a calm mental, you go in the meet knowing what you can do, knowing what you can do, and you jump what you can jump. So for me, like you said, it's really just all about mental, like, and that's the thing I still work on to this day as a sophomore in college. As my second year, I still have to work on my mental going into meets because things are gonna happen in life. Like, and I realized that, I realized that early. Like, just recently, I realized that like things gonna bring you down, you know. But it's really about when you go into competition, when you verse the people who you know you're going against. How is your mental? You have a
Yeah.
calm mental. You have a mental knowing that what you're gonna do when you go into the meet, knowing what you're gonna jump, knowing what you can, what you have jumped, then you can jump what you jump. But if the
Yeah.
mental's not there, then you may not have your best performance. And I've noticed that. I've noticed that about many meets.
Yeah. What do your practice look like? What does practices and training look like?
So for me, ever since I was in high school, I told myself right when not even high school, before that, I've always had something to where I'm gonna go get it. So it's like in high school is really when it started, but I would wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, go to Crunch Fitness, and I would have a lift. After that, I know I had school at 8 o'clock. Go back home, shower up, and I go to school. And then after school, I go straight to practice after that. After practice, work with my jumps coach. After work with my jumps coach, I may do some little stuff after he leaves, and then I leave. But it was basically like that. So it was like ever since I was in high school, I took I put my foot forward and said I'm gonna wake up at. It wasn't even 6, it was 5. I used to wake up
Mm.
at 5 a.m. in high school by myself, drive to the gym by myself, and just work out by myself because I always knew I wanted what? A Division I HBCU. That's always in my head, Division I HBCU. And I knew to do this, I have to make effort. So yeah, for me, that's just what it was. I wake up early in the morning in high school, go throughout my school day, have practice after, stay a little after, do some other stuff, go back home, do things like pray, eat, go to sleep. But when it come to college, I was a little you know what I'm saying? First time in college, it's just like, dang,
For
but
sure.
college, it was the same thing. I was used to it. That's why I kind of got I trained my body. So it was kind of the same schedule. So Tuesday, Thursday, we lift. Tuesday, Thursday, we lift. Monday through Friday, we practice. So it was something where it was like when it came to lifting, I already had those habits. So waking up early on time, walking down to our gym, it wasn't nothing because it was I've already did that in high school. And when it comes to the practices was more intense. I'm not gonna lie. The weight training, it was it was cool because I lifted weights in high school heavily just to get me prepared for that. But when it came to the practices, it was definitely more intense for me, and it really took me like 2 weeks to be like, okay, this is what it is. This is what we doing. Like, this how it's going. So like,
Yeah.
but when I first got there, I was dead during our jump workouts. We would sit there. Our coach would sit there and have us bounding, one leg hopping for he don't care how long. We would be the last ones to lead the track. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but yeah, we'd be the last ones to leave the track. The sprinters usually stay there or leave way earlier than us, and my jumps coach would have me jumping. So it was like, yeah, when I got to college, it was a little wake up when it came to the practices. I was like, dang, I come to practice with my knees hurting. You know what I'm saying? Way more than it was in high school. But yeah, it's really just getting used to that lifestyle. I got used to it in like 2 to 3 weeks, and you're going to get used to it in 2 to 3 weeks, especially if you're already doing the things that you should do in high school to get you prepared for that level. Then when you go to college, it shouldn't be anything to where it's different, and that's what it was with me.
Yeah. How do you balance being an athlete, your grades, your classroom, studying, track meets, and how has your family and the support been there for you thus far?
So when it comes to balancing, just track, school, and all that, for me, it was really something to where it was I knew what to put first. So at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to be a good athlete, but I would always tell myself, you can't be a good athlete without those things. So it was
Yeah.
in high school, sometimes I would prioritize track and field more than, education. I'm not gonna lie, but when it really got to college, especially my first year, I knew it couldn't be like that because, hearing from my coaches, even hearing from my family, they would tell me at the end of the day, that's what it is. You can't sit here and prioritize the extra practice over the test you got to turn in. So yeah, my first year of high school, I was having a little trouble with it, but when I got it, and I ended off, my first freshman year with a GPA that's, a GPA I could accept. But obviously, I could balance it a little better. You can always do everything better. There's always room for improvement. But it's really just about learning about priorities. Learning about the things that really matter in life. And that's the thing I'm still trying to work on right now. Because I'll tell you straight up, I still prioritize sometimes doing this workout or my education, which is not the right thing. But I'll get to myself and say, at the end of the day, you cannot sit here and do the thing you love, the thing you want to go professional in without these grades.
Yeah.
So it's really something to where, my family pushed it too. My mother, she's a teacher. So she really pushed that on me. And I feel like my freshman year, I moved as it. I could have moved better with that, but that's still what I'm working on. Is just prioritize. It's really all about prioritizing. And at the end of the day, you can't do what you love if you don't have that. That's what I
Yeah.
accepted, and that's what I've walked by.
Yeah. Do you have any mentors or anyone that you look up to? And who do you pattern your jumping ability as?
So for me, I don't have, or I'll say my mentor is really just my dad, because my dad, he's always kind of been the person to really just make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. And not even when I'm saying make sure I'm doing what I'm doing, that doesn't even come just to the track and field. My dad always, even my mother as a teacher, they would both just make sure just like I said, prioritizing what it was over, what I should be prioritizing over.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like really just who I look up to, I look up to myself. You know what I'm saying? I watch jumpers, I watch what jumpers do, but I've never been the type of athlete to kind of mimic what I do off of them, because I'm Korbin Brown, and what I do is what I do. What I put in the history books is what I put in the history books. So it's like I've always thought of myself as that athlete. HBCU athlete coming to all SEC meet. I'm going to
Yeah.
show y'all what an HBCU athlete did. So it was like, that's really always what it's been for me. I've never, I've seen jumpers, I watch jumpers, I mock jumpers all the time. I try to mock jumpers all the time, but I've never sat here and really said, I'm going to jump like this person. I jump like Corbin Brown, and I'm always
Right.
Corbin Brown, because Corbin Brown is going to be Corbin Brown in the future. And
Yeah.
I've always thought about it. Like my mentality always been is, like I said, my dad, he going to tell me what to do when it comes to just being a man, prioritizing what you're not prioritizing. But I've always just told myself, I'm the jumper that I am. I'm not trying to mimic, or not even just mimic, but just try to like do something that another jumper does, because I'm going to be that jumper that people may want to do that too. That's what I want to be. And that's
Yeah.
how I've always kind of looked at it in a type of way.
Yeah, what's your goals individually and team wise? Because you was already on a ranked team. You're probably gonna be ranked this year. You finished like in the top three in your championships multiple times. So, what is your goal this season coming up, team wise and individually?
So when it comes to team wise, this year we did have some recruits come through. So I really feel like those recruits coming through, as a team, we can definitely make some noise in the Ohio Valley Conference. I feel like, not even I feel like, I know that we can win the Ohio Valley Conference because we're a more deeper squad. Compared to last year, we didn't have as many people as we have this year. So I really feel like we can go in that indoor OVC championship and outdoor OVC championship, and make a name for ourselves. And when it comes for me, I want to win my triple, long, and high. Because I know when it comes to conference, my coach puts me in high. I want to win all three of them. So it's like, that's my goals. I want to win. I don't want to be second, third. I want to be that person to win it. I want to be on top of the podium, number one. And when it comes to my team, like I said, we're a deeper squad. So I know and I feel that as a deeper squad with more recruits that brought way more to the team, we can win Ohio Valley Conference Championship. Like we
Yeah.
definitely can as a HBCU because in our conference it's only PWI. So I feel like we can be that HBCU to say, oh, that they did that.
Right, right. What is your go-to song? What's the vibe before track meet? Is you listening to music? Is you quiet? Is you off to yourself? What's the vibes like before a meet? How do you get yourself going?
So before a meet, what I do is I'll put my headphones in, and it'll kind of be something like it's as weird as it sounds. I'll put my headphones in and not play any music and warm up and look at the scenery, if that makes sense. So I'll put my headphones in and I'll just look around, look at the runway, look at who I'm competing with, looking at who's warming up, just kind of take in the moment if that makes sense. And I
Yeah,
feel like that kind of gets me amped up because I'm already super want to jump. Like right when it happens, I really want to jump. I'm super ecstatic to jump, but it's like that's kind of what helps me is just looking at the moment. Like I'm a Division I athlete. I'm about to jump. I did what I did to work to get to this moment. So yeah, really, when it comes to me, I'll most of the times, at least the first half of when I really get to the meet, I'll really sit there and just put my AirPods in, noise cancellation, and just look at, just take it all in, take in where I am. And I feel like that kind of gets me going. It
yeah,
gets me to the point to where it's like I worked this hard. I worked this hard to be here, so I'm approved to why I should be here. And I feel
yeah,
like that's kind of what gets me better as, just a jumper. Just taking in the moment, taking in my blessings, taking in how far I've came in all of this.
yeah, definitely. Last couple questions we get you out of here. If jumping became an Olympic sport for animals, what animal do you think would dominate and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. If jumping came an Olympic sport and animals, I feel like I feel like a kangaroo. A kangaroo would do some work. Like when it comes to kangaroos, they would definitely need more, sitting down there and actually, actual work about them jumping. But kangaroos automatically have hops. Everybody knows that. So it's like I feel kangaroo would really, succeed in a high jump because, kangaroos already can jump, but they would definitely need more training and work and technical things. But definitely a kangaroo. Now that's jumping. When it comes to sprinting, cheetah.
Yeah,
Sure. But
definitely. What's the last good movie or TV show you seen?
the last good movie or TV show I seen was what was it? The Carry On Netflix. So it
Okay.
was like yeah, Carry On. Either Carry On or the Kevin Hart film. I forgot what it's called. It's called let me look it up.
The fight night.
Nah, not the fight night. The Kevin Hart, the lift up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was basically about, it was basically about just Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart always playing funny things, but the lift up was like on some serious stuff and about how he was just a robber and he
Yeah.
did this heist for this painting. And yeah, I just recently watched that with my teammates at their apartment. So like I really enjoyed that. But yeah, Carry On definitely with the Kevin Hart. Cause him playing a serious role, he can really act when he plays a serious
Yeah.
role. And I didn't realize that till I watched that. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched that, Lift Up, watch it.
Yeah.
Lift
Yeah.
Up.
Jordan ones or dunks?
Oh my goodness. Definitely Jordan wins.
Jordan ones.
Definitely Jordan wins.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James?
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Let me tell you at first, it was MJ, but at the end of the day, I didn't see LeBron do too much stuff. I don't know if you've seen Derek Lively. I don't know if you've seen that dunk where he just recently dunked on
Yeah.
Lively and he just turned 40. But after that, I was like, I was already leaning towards, because I told you, it used to be MJ, but I was already leaning towards LeBron. But after that, it sealed the deal. You know what I'm saying? No 40-year-old is still dunking on Derek Lively. He what? Maybe 24, 25. So it
Right.
was definitely LBJ.
Yeah.
Definitely LBJ got it.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh, if I could eat one food for the rest of my life, pretzels.
Pretzel with cheese or just regular?
No, I'm talking hard pretzels.
Oh, hard. Okay. Okay.
So it's like, I don't know why, but I've always loved either pretzels or rice. I've always loved pretzels or rice. Like ever since I've been younger, I can sit there and eat pretzels every day. Sit there, eat pretzels, drink water, or sit there and eat rice and drink water all day, and I'll be cool. Like
Is that
that's
what you do before the meets? Is it a special meal that you have?
the meal before meats. What I do is actually I don't. I usually just eat what I eat because we usually out in hotels, so I usually eat to the little hotel breakfast.
Yeah.
But what I do before meets, I will say this. I'll give me like a little kind of little energy drink, and I'll drink a little energy drink just to get me going. Because sometimes you wake up for those meets, especially because the jumpers always jump in the morning. So you kind of wake up to those meets. I've never been an energy drink type of person, only at meets. But yeah, you kind of wake up a little just sluggish because obviously people wake up sluggish. But yeah, I drink a little energy drink. It get me going. It get me up. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I get it going off that. But definitely that, yeah. But pretzels and rice for sure. I can eat pretzels and rice every day and I'll be cool. Pretzels, rice, water, that's all I need.
When it's all said and done, and you hang your spikes up. What kind of athlete do you want people to know you as?
I want people to know me as the person that's always gonna go get it, if that makes sense. So me being, if you were low in the podium, if you're low in your jumps, you're low in your sprints, I always just want to be the person that they look to as Corbin gonna go get it. And that's how I've always felt how I've been. I've always in my whole sports track career kind of been on a low podium of things. You know what I'm saying? I've always started off as the person that they don't expect to do this. OVC, I wasn't even seated, maybe. I wasn't even seated top five, top six. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I want people to look at me as a person that's going to go get it when it matters.
Yeah.
Because that's always what I did. State championship as in high school. You know what I'm saying? I did a decent jump before then, but I know myself. I told myself, state championship, I'm going to go get it. And that's how it's always been for me. I always go get it when it matters. So I always want anybody, if you ever look at me, you ever see me, when I do hang my spikes up, I always want people to see, oh yeah, Corbin gonna go get it when it matters. Whenever it matters, whenever it really count, whenever it really, Corbin gonna go get it. Corbin gonna win that. Cause that's how I always felt. That's how I always walked. That's how I always been. I'm gonna go get it exactly when it matters, whatever it take. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've always felt, and that's how I've always been.
Yeah, definitely. And whatever comes on your heart, can you speak something positive to the youth?
So I can definitely speak something positive on you. So when it comes to me, I just like I told you, this certain month, it's been, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a bad month for me. I'm gonna just say it like that. It's been a terrible month for me, just dealing with a lot of things, losses, just things on top of that, multiple losses. Like this December month's been terrible for me, but and at the end of the day, I could have laid down and said, because of this happened, because of this loss, I don't want to train today. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But this month really showed me how bad do you want it and how deep are you going to dig? Because there was times to where after this month where I wanted to sit down and lay down and be like, I'm not going to lie, this is messed up, man. I don't want to do any training. I don't want to do anything. But I had to dig deep. It's really just about digging deep. Like, you know, there's always, I came from a straight good month and then, move on to the bad month. There's always going to be times to where it's bad. Like, always going to be times to where it's bad, but it's really how you deal with it is what makes you the difference between a boy and a man. You know, after the month I had, I still continued to sit here and train. I still continued to sit here and, do what I do. But I knew that I couldn't not afford to do that because as being an athlete, as being as the high caliber athlete as I am and what I want to be, I can't sit here and lay down. Things are always going to happen bad in life. And I've seen it this month. I've seen it back to back to back, but I still continue to do the same thing as I do. So my main message in all that is whatever happens, life gonna throw whatever it is at you. Life gonna throw this and that. And I seen it this month, just like I told you. But it's really how you handle it and how you come out of it is what really makes you a man. And I'm really still trying to learn that myself. But at the end of the day, that's what makes you a man. Life gonna throw this, life gonna throw that, but it's really how you come out of it. Are you gonna still train? Are you gonna still go for the goal you want? Are you gonna lay down and not do? Are you gonna lay down and get into bad habits? No, that's not what makes a man. That's not what makes a great athlete. So at the end of the day, that's what all I say. Life gonna throw things at you. You're gonna have the worst moments of your life. And I seen it this month, but it's how you deal with it. And it's how you move forward.
Definitely. And we thank you. We're spotlighting you for your hard work on the track, in the classroom, and just your character. I can tell that you love the sport that you play because you light up when you talk about it. May God continue to bless you. Korbin, you have everything inside you that you need to be great, to accelerate, to take it to the next level, to even go to the Olympics, to either take it how far you want to go. Your determination, your faith, your ability to know that you can trust in God for him to be able to lead you. So we pray that he give you favor in the classroom, in the track, and wherever else you need it, wherever you tread your feet on, that you will have favor in it, and that this year be a year like never before. We pray that the peace of God be upon you as you deal with different things, as you go through those bad times, that God will be able to give you the capacity to push through and persevere, because if God is for you, who could be against you? We thank you for this opportunity. We're going to be following you. We're going to be supporting you. We're going to be sharing you and your journey as well. And we just appreciate you for this opportunity.
I thank you for this opportunity and for bringing me on here.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Korbin Brown.
I thank you for this, sir.